And so today is the first of our series. I usually go live every Thursday, but I'm trying to do an intentional series here in the Facebook group, More Than Your Weight Women's Community, around the More Than Your Weight women's concepts that I talk about. So as you all know, I've rebranded my podcast, I've rebranded my programs, I've rebranded everything to really support women in recognizing that they're more than what they weigh, to find peace with food, feel confident in their bodies again, and develop a healthy lifestyle that's more than about what they weigh. Now, I was actually talking with someone earlier this morning, and she mentioned how, okay, I do kind of want to lose weight, but I do want food freedom. I do want to feel good in my body. I don't think they have to be mutually exclusive. That's the right term. I think the first thing I think we need to do is that we need to find peace with food and confidence in our body and develop a healthy lifestyle. And then I believe if our bodies want to release weight, it will release weight. And that has been my experience, and many of the experiences of the clients that I've worked with, is that when we just focus on getting our mind, our body, and our soul right, our mindset, our habits, and our life, weight loss may come, will come, or in general, we realize we don't want to lose weight anymore because we actually achieved what we wanted. And most of all, it's peace with food, confidence with the body, healthy lifestyle, energetic, feeling confident in your skin again, feeling like you have some healthy self-care systems in place, and just feeling good, right? Because at the end of the day, the goal that you most want for yourself is to feel good in yourself and in your body and have the energy to do the things you want to do, right? And so if you're on live or watching the replay with me, let me know you are here. I would love to just say hello. How's your April going? Has it been great? What'd you do for Easter? Just really want to get to know you guys a little bit more. Before I get going, I just want to mention a couple things that are relevant to this week in particular. I'm going to make sure I put it in the text above the video, is that I am doing a giveaway this week. So to celebrate the More Than Your Weight podcast, its name, uplift, the new graphic, and really just the new focus on really helping you find freedom in that area and know that you're worth more than what you weigh, and your health is more than what you weigh, and so much other things. I am doing a giveaway. So this podcast giveaway is you can win a 90-minute food freedom intensive with me. This is one of my most popular offerings, and some free essential oils. And so if you are interested in that, I'm going to put the details here. I'm doing it on Instagram and on Facebook, depending on where you're at. And basically what you need to do is if you like the photo, you tag one friend. I believe that's how you enter. Let me get my details right here. Like the photo and tag one friend, you enter, but you get bonus additional entries for every friend you tag. If you share it to your stories or your timeline on Facebook or Instagram, you get 5 extra entries. And if you actually leave me a podcast review, you get 10. And so this is such a good giveaway. It ends this Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern. So you're going to want to make sure you go right after this and enter. Okay. So if you already entered, let me know. But also, if you're like, that's me, I would like to win in my 90-minute session, I would like to win some free essential oils, then go ahead. And so I just added it, so you can do it right after. You can go to my Facebook page, and the reason why I did it on the Facebook page instead of a group, the Facebook page is public. The Facebook page is public, so even when people are not in the group, they're able to do it there. Okay, so enter the podcast giveaway to win a 90-minute free session, as well as some essential oils. Next thing is I am doing something special again. I do this about once or twice a year, not often, where I offer a certain amount of mini free coaching sessions, 20-minute sessions, to really help you find freedom and peace and guidance and clarity in one area, one goal that you have. And so I'm offering a few this month, and to celebrate again the rebranding of the podcast. And so if you are interested in this 20-minute session and you've never had a call with me before, you've never done coaching with me, you've never hopped on a call for this free mini session, go ahead and grab your spot. If you go to madewell345.com/strategy, you will be able to grab your spot. Okay. And so I reserve these mainly for women who have never hopped on the phone with me, because I just want to bless more and more women. If you have, and you're wondering if this is for you, you can still let me know. But this is ideally for women who haven't jumped on the phone with me. All right. So don't be shy. If you're like, is this for me? Feel free to message me and I can clarify that with you. All right. So today, we're going to conquer this task of talking about having a complete holistic approach to your health. Next week, we're going to talk about, I'll upload those events. Next week, we're going to talk more about hormones. The week after, we're going to talk more about what happens when women stop hating their bodies. And then the week after, talk about how you can nourish yourself with more than what's on your plate. Now, each one of those connect to this overall framework. So if you haven't, you definitely want to check out this week's podcast episode 162. This episode is 21 ways that you can believe and act like you're more than what you weigh. And if you're interested in that, just let me know. I would love to guide you where that episode is. It's really just madewell345.com/162. Listen to this week's episode at madewell345.com/episode 162. And it's a longer one, and that's okay. I purposely did it, and I actually have a transcript. I have it in a new database right now. I have a transcript in my Member Vault database there for you, as well as the cheat sheet where you can just print off the 21 ways. Okay, so you want to make sure you go and listen to it. Grab that as well in the comments. And I talked about really 7 different ways to believe and act like you're more than what you weigh in 3 areas: your mind or your mindset, body, actual habits you have towards your health, and your soul or your life. And when I look at the last 5 years of even the history of my podcast and the work that I've done, those were the areas I've helped women in. It started out, it's interesting because it kind of went backwards. It started out as helping women with their life. Really, it was the Be Healthy and Thrive podcast, and it was very holistic. I looked at things such as finances, career, purpose, emotions, mindset, spirituality. And because my own experience had been that holistic approach, but then I realized, okay, well, I didn't start with that. I kind of started with a few other things. So let me go really focus in on having a healthy body, and that when they can truly be healthy and thrive in all areas of their life, when they really start caring for their physical health. So I looked at the 7 different areas of health habits versus the 7 different areas of a flourishing life, 7 different healthy habits. But then, as you've seen in the last 6 to 7 or 8 months, I've also started to see that actually the work I've been doing all the time is to really help women with their mindset and really supporting them around their mindset, in particular towards diet, scale, food, exercise, their body, themselves, and how they handle their emotions. And so as I started to think about this, I said, my goodness, I really have this holistic approach. I thought I had a very only this year, but it's very, very, very holistic. And often it can feel overwhelming. I need to work on my mind, body, and soul, but take a break, take a breath. I always support my clients in working on one thing at a time. Okay. And that's why I just wanted to give you an overview of the 3 areas, and actually the 6 kind of things that we can cover. We're working together, particularly my 6-month program. I currently have spots open for my 6-month program, which is the most transformative program that I offer. One-on-one coaching, very high touch. Basically, you have access to me, Monday to Friday, unlimited through Basecamp, but also 3 sessions a month and everything. Like, I am your coach. I'm there for you. And so I currently have spots for that. So if you're interested, you definitely want to just let me know. We could chat more about it. But there are 6 these are the 3 areas. So the mind, body, soul is really what I support women in. But there's kind of 2 main areas in each of those things. Okay. And so I don't like to say in month 1, we will do this, month 2, we will do this, month 6, we will do this, because I think it's a very customized approach. And that's why I love one-on-one coaching. I can customize it towards my individual clients. That's my experience with coaching, and I love it because it's right where I need to be versus where I think I should be. The primary reason I personally have coaches in my health, my business, in a lot of areas is because often, as I think women, we struggle with this. I think I need to do all of these things. I see the new marketing tool or the new workout plan, and I need to do this. And I just really need someone to help me get rid of the noise and actually say, no, what you need to do is focus on this. This is where you're at, and this is what you need to do. So go, go, go. Okay. And so, although there are many things that you can do and focus on, and when you choose to work with me, we could do together, I believe we need to customize when and what we work on. All right, so let's talk about mind, body, soul, or again, mindset, habits in life. Let's talk about mindset first, or your mind. And this is the holistic approach, because you are not one part of yourself. And that's why I like to say you're more than what you weigh. You are more than what you weigh. You are more than what you believe. You are more than how you look. You are more than your job. You're more than your family. You're just so much more. And so if you just look at one area, you're kind of negating all the beautiful parts of you that need love and attention. All right. And so in my More Than Your Weight mentorship, particularly my 6-month program, we really, that is my mentorship, More Than Your Weight mentorship, we look at the holistic approach. Okay, so the first thing is we take mindset and habits inventory. So although I really want to help you get to focusing on your life, I also think before we figure out what may be going wrong there, we need to figure out what's going on between our health and our body and how we view those. And so where are you in your relationship to food? Where are you in your relationship to exercise, in how you view things? Because what you believe, think, and say will dictate how you feel and act towards anything in life, but particularly your health and healthy living. Okay. And so when we start to see how you view those things, that gives us data on where we need to get started in working together. But also when I see man, maybe you're actually doing really well on your nutrition, but maybe stress management is really high for you. That is what we need to work on. So we want to celebrate the areas that you're thriving and feeling nourished in, mindset and habits wise, but we want to look at the areas you're not. And so I have a couple free resources that actually, if you sign up for my podcast library, you can get access. It will be available in a little bit. I'm still working on adding all the episodes. There's over nearly 200 episodes there, but there is gonna have a tool with the food freedom inventory, the healthy habits inventory, as well as the flourishing life inventory is going to be in that. So you can definitely sign up from now in the chat, the comments there, and then you can always get that. But I love going through this one-on-one with clients because you often will identify, oh, I really need to work on this. This is the area that I need to work on. But what ends up happening is that you start to see, oh, I didn't realize that is the actual area, or I'm actually doing really well. And so that's why it's so great to have someone unpack things with you, because it could just be very powerful and transformative for you in that space. Okay, so that's one of the first things that you just really need to ask yourself is, where is your mindset at in this food freedom stuff? I talked about your relationship with food, your body, and yourself, but also where are you at in regards to how you're already taking care of yourself and where you want to be. So identifying what you're doing and where you want to be, where you're at and where you want to be is key to creating a plan and to moving forward on your journey. Because often we are like, okay, I just want to do this. I just want to lose a little weight, or I just want to stop emotional eating or whatever. And you just try to fix the symptom without fixing the root. I'm all about the root. I had someone, I did a food freedom intensive last week, and she just mentioned how she came into the session and was kind of like, I was like, what am I going to kind of skeptical, totally fine. But as we started to work, she was like, oh my goodness. She said, you drew out thoughts and beliefs in me I didn't realize were really kind of holding me back. And I'm like, yeah, because I don't realize the thoughts and feelings and all that are holding me back. But that's why I literally invest money in coaches, because I want to grow. I want to develop, and I have a calling to help you and I think millions of other women out there. Whoa, I just said millions. Let's start with thousands. women out there, and I need to get my mind right in order to get my actions right. And so taking that inventory is so key. So if you're watching live, feel free to share. Step one, a mindset and habits inventory. Where are you at in your relationship with food, your body, yourself, diets, the scale? And also, what practical things are you already doing or you want to grow in around healthy habits? Is it in nutrition? Is it in exercise, stress management, sleep, digestion, toxic load, or mindset and habits? Let me know. Okay. So that's step one, is looking at, in order to really care for our mind, we need to take stock of where we are so we can celebrate where we are, but also move forward to where we want to be. Step two is that food freedom journey. You know, in March, I did a whole challenge around food freedom and really helping you, okay, so we identified in step one, this is where you're at in regards to your mind and your habits. All right, then now let's dive deeper into like why. Why do you believe that? How's that impacting you? What do you want to believe and say and act instead? And really hold grace and space for yourself. So often, for example, I give this one a lot, but I was sitting in the shower one day recently postpartum. I sit in the shower sometimes, just let the water fall. And I said, you know what? Like, why am I thinking all these things about my body? Why am I feeling all these things? I just need to love my body no matter what size, shape, or scale number it's at. And I sat there and I'm like, ooh, that's good. I am loving my body no matter what size, shape, or scale number it's at. I am loving my body no matter what size, shape, or scale number it's at. Because that affirmation tells my brain that no matter what that scale says, no matter what this size says, no matter how this looks, I am taking the intentional actions to love my body and my health. My goodness, preaching a word to someone right now, right? And so in that food freedom journey part of the work that I do with clients, we look deep. We look deep, 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 deep. And that's the reason why I often sell just like the 90-minute intensive, the starter, kind of like, okay, if you want to work with me, but you want to kind of feel it out, that's the reason why I do that in the 90-minute intensive, because that is where you're going to get the meat of the root of what's going on. I do not think we need to stop with a 90-minute intensive. I do not think we need to stop with just caring about food freedom. We have all the other areas, but it's such a powerful place to start. So where are you specifically at? Tell me, what do you believe is at the core of why you don't like your body? What do you believe is at the core of why you look at exercise as a chore? Why do you think that diets are the go-to solution when you're feeling like you need to lose weight or insecure in your body? Tell me. Process this. This is a safe space for you to process, because if you do that deeper work, I'm telling you, it's really going to move you forward. And the reason why I think it's important to jump on calls with this too is because sometimes in sessions, I probe, I ask questions, and they're like, oh, well, this is always what I've believed. And I'm like, okay, did someone ever say that to you? Or when did you start believing that? And then they start to think, oh, okay, that one time I stepped on the scale and my teacher said, huh, interesting. And that's all they said. And it made me think, did they not like, am I not a good weight? But they never clarified. But from there, I became insecure about my weight. And you're like, yes, that's exactly where it started. And how did that play out? How do you see that affecting you? And many of the women I work with are older than me. And that's it breaks my heart. But they're like, for 40 years, I believe this. And I'm like, well, you still got tons of time left. It's time to change it. Because I believe every woman knowing more, that they are more than what they weigh, and believing it and acting it and feeling like they love or belong and they love themselves is part of the most important work that I will ever do, or that you will ever do. All right. And so that's the importance of the mindset and the food freedom. That's the importance of, one, taking stock. Where am I at in my mindset and my habits? But two, let's start with the mindset. All right. And so feel free again to process here in the comments where you're at. The next is, now we're going to move to body. So there's two kind of areas. Body is just healthy habits. I call them healthy habits for long-term success. We can get our mind right all the time, but if we are not, and even say beautiful things, but if we're not taking actions, like if you tell me, Brie, I love my body. My goodness, it's the most beautiful thing. but you're not giving it the rest it needs. You're not giving it the nourishment it needs. You're not moving it in the way it needs. You're letting stress control it. You're plaguing it with toxins that aren't helping it. I'm just going to ask, are you sure? Because you can say it, but I need you to show your body that you believe it. And so acting is, scripture, if you're a Christian, talks about this. We cannot be just Christians in word, but we also need to be it in deed. You can tell someone's faith by how they act. And that scripture says that too. And it's the same way. You can tell what someone believes by how they act. And I'm going through like a mindset is something that I'm always unpacking in my life. How do I view this? How do I view this? And how I view money is something I've been working on, even as an accountant, right? And, people have said countless times, show me your bank statement and it will tell me what you believe and it will tell me what you value. And I'm like, well, it values Starbucks green matcha tea lattes because that's just my drink in this season. I don't drink coffee anymore. Anyways, but it's the same thing. Show me your life and I will tell you if you really value yourself. And it's okay. Give yourself grace if you've been busy. Give yourself grace if you actually never been taught how to love yourself both in word and deed. But this is important. So we need to identify that one, in the first step, we identified where you need to work on, but now we're going to get some practical and like, how do you need to do that? So tell me, if you're listening, what's one practical way that you've been putting off loving your body, taking care of it, having those healthy habits, and what's one way that you can do that right now? And so I had a call maybe sometime last year with a client, and I just remember her saying, just feeling like she was stuck, like, I don't know what to do, or like, I can't move, or doing this. And the first step I think for her was like, I keep having this pain. And it's like, oh, well, you really need to go see a physiotherapist and just figure it out and do some exercises. And she knew that, but just kept putting it off. And I was like, it's instrumental, because if you want to exercise in a way that you enjoy and doesn't give you pain, if you want to move forward in any of your other goals of energy and all that, you need to go see this first. And I had another call with someone, different stuff with their head and their body. It's okay to go get the other support you need before you can actually do the physical action, but that's an action itself, getting the support you need. I tell clients when they work with me, you are not investing in me, you're investing in yourself. And I'm just saying, yes, I'm willing to invest my time in you as well. That's what money is. Money says exchange of value. You are valuable, right? My time is valuable. So that's we're just exchanging value. And so you are also investing in yourself when you give yourself the time, whether it's money, time, resources, to really dive deeper into stress management, sleep, exercise, digestion, toxic load. Okay. So again, let me know one area of practical healthy habits you want to work on. What does that look like for you? And then fourth, this has to do with body 2, hormone health. And so this is something I started studying like more about 2 years ago. I have a great podcast episode coming out next week, and I have some more if you go back to the ones from October, I think 2019. We have so many hormones in our body that are basically, they act as chemical messengers telling our bodies to do what they are meant to do. It's like a telephone. Hey, can you go do this? Okay. But if you cut the telephone line, no one's communicating. There's no communication. And so, yes, ladies, we have estrogen, we have progesterone, we have a little bit of testosterone. We have a lot of other ones that play a huge role. Insulin, cortisol, glucagon, glycogen, I always pronounce this wrong, leptin, ghrelin. We have the thyroid hormones. We have so many. And those actually act together to give us the energy we long for, to help us maintain our weight, boost our metabolism, have better skin, have a better menstrual cycle, and all of that. And so I actually, when I interviewed a lot of these hormone experts, when you actually practice a lot of the healthy habits that we talked about right before, they actually start to get your hormones in balance. But sometimes there's specific things you need to do. Maybe you need to do a test to see if your certain hormones are out of whack, and there's tons of great functional practitioners and specialists you can do that. If you think like, I've tried it all, but my hormones are out of whack, maybe there is something in particular. But more often than not, when we are paying attention to these healthy habits, your hormones, for most of the average, mostly can just get a lot better through proper nutrition, stress management. Essential oils are a great tool as well. Great books by Dr. Marisa Snyder on essential oils for hormones. She's coming out with a new one, essential oils for menopause. I'm really excited about that. And she's on the podcast next week, so you're going to want to make sure you listen, because That perimenopause, menopause phase is actually where a lot of my clients end up being. Not all, but some. And it's just a unique time. So what worked for you maybe 20 years ago won't work for you now, but we need to figure out how to really protect yourself in that time. All right, so mind, we looked at mindset and habits inventory. We also looked at food freedom, but then looking at the body, we also looked at healthy habits for long-term success and hormone health. And now let's get to the soul. And this is where that flourishing life stuff I talked a lot about in the beginning of my podcast comes in, nourishing your body with primary food. So I went to the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, and I loved, from the beginning, I knew it was for me, because what they talked about is that what primarily feeds you is not what you put on your plate. That's your secondary food, but it's things like your spirituality. It's things like your financial health. It's things like your career. It's things like your own personal development, maybe, or your emotions, or all these other things. And I was like, yes, because when I got really reconnected with my faith, started following my purpose, i.e. helping you, and really giving myself time for healthy relationships and, healthy boundaries and all that, it's like that stuff brought me so much more joy than reaching a number on the scale ever did. So now, even though I have a 10-month-old, and even though I am running both my coaching and oils business and doing ministry and I'm married, I've made it a priority to spend time with people and relationships each week. Sometimes it's a lot, sometimes it's less, but that's really important to me. I've made the time to grow with my relationship with God. I made time for my own physical health. Yes, I've made time for, my business, obviously. So all of this stuff is because that stuff really brings my soul life. And so really working together to figure that out is what I love to help clients with. But let me know for you, is there an area of your life that you are like, I'm just feeling like I really just need it needs nourishment, it needs some love? Is it a particular relationship? Is it your relationship with God? Is it you really feel called to something new and you're not quite sure or you know what it is and you need to pursue that purpose or passion? Is it looking and paying attention to your finances? In this season, I'm doing a lot of financial mindset work and practical work, right? Reading a lot of different books. And every couple of years, I go back to this and just fine tune it. And because I believe as you grow and up levels, so does your mindset. So I need to go back to this. So I'm reading some books on this, getting some help with, managing personal and business finances, because that's an area that I really, when that's healthy, I feel good. I just feel better about making decisions, in investments, in my health, in my business, in my life, in my family. I feel better about knowing where money goes and not feel like I'm wasting it, or feel like I can use it more. Right? Give myself permission to spend. So nourishing yourself with that primary food is so important. And that's one area of life or soul that I help clients with. And then the last is cultivating a posture of gratitude as well as intentions. And so this is the process. I call this RCA, reflecting, celebrate, and acting. I love helping clients reflect on what went well, where they're feeling like they're thriving, where they feel like things didn't go well that month or that week and why. And then also acting, shifting. Reflect and then celebrate. Celebrate what went well, because we often are we are constantly bonding over what sucks. And that's fine, but we need to bond and really learn to lift one another and ourselves up through what went well. Strong women lift each other up, as Molly Gathrow. Oh, Molly, I need to get your name right. Just amazing. Co-founder of Girls Gone Strong. We need to lift each other up and lift ourselves up. So reflecting, celebrate, but then we make adjustments and act, right? So you adjust, saying I want to walk 5 times this week, every month, 5 times that each week for every month, but things get really busy on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So I really only could do Monday, Thursday, Friday. It's awesome. So stop putting these unrealistic expectations on yourself and just walk and enjoy your walks 3 times a week. That sort of stuff, right? We're reflecting to see what went well, what didn't go well, celebrate what went well, and then adjust what didn't go well. So that's an important act and loop that I like to lead clients through as well. Okay. And so those are kind of 2 parts under each of these 6 areas. But yeah, before actually I go and recap, let me know Or do you have a practice of gratitude or celebration that you do daily? I love to do this with clients because often they're like, oh, I barely walk or I do this. And I'm like, didn't you just put a pedometer on and show me? Because the way you're talking, I think you walk a lot because your job, you're always on your feet. So let's celebrate that, okay? So tell me what you're grateful for if you have a practice of gratitude in your life. So mind, body, soul, mindset. We're looking at inventory. Where are you at in your relationship with food, your body, yourself, and where are you at with your habits? So we can create a plan, right? And then 2 is food freedom journey. That's the mindset. Where are you at in relationship with food, your body, and yourself? Because that dictates your actions towards those things. And then body, we look at healthy habits for long-term success in areas such as nutrition, exercise, stress, sleep, digestion, and toxic load. Also looking at hormone health and just really considering how uniquely hormones impact us as women, but also how they impact our everyday functions and how we can support our hormone health. And then we look at soul, really your life, what brings you life, and nourishing yourself with primary food, your finances, your career, your relationships, your emotions, your own personal development. Those are such important things. And then we learn to practice a cycle of gratitude through reflection, celebration, and adjustment. All right. And then we set intentions in that adjustment place. So I know it's quite a bit, but that's kind of the 6-part process that I love to lead clients through. I guess that's my signature framework there. And then again, sometimes we go linear, but sometimes it goes you would definitely take stock to where you're at, but depending on where you need, that's where I really like to support women. And so I would love to hear from you. If you had any takeaways or any questions, or which one of those areas or within those areas you want to work on. I do have openings for my 6-month program this month, and I'm taking on 2 to 3, I think it's 2 more clients. And so if you are interested in actually getting support, I want you to let me know, because I want to just chat with you, and then we can figure out, hop on a call with you, book a clarity call. And that is a call where you can just share where you're at, yeah, and then we can talk about how I can uniquely support you. But also remember, you could do the same thing on a mini coaching session. I don't coach on clarity calls, but the mini coaching session, for a portion of it, we can have a little coaching so you can get a taste of that. But then we can also talk about my 6-month program as well. And so I have a few spots open this month for those free mini sessions for those who haven't hopped on a call with me before. And even if you have, and you're like, I really just feel like I need some longer term support, let me know, and I would still love to talk with you. But I'm just prioritizing those who haven't hopped on a call yet. Go to madewell345.com/strategy and book a spot while there's still some. And I would love to just hop on the phone and chat with you. Next thing is make sure you enter the giveaway, because you could possibly win my 90-minute food freedom intensive, as well as some essential oils. And the link for that is on Instagram. You just look for podcast giveaway on Instagram or Facebook page, but I linked it here on Facebook. All right. Well, that's it from me. I see a few of you on live. Do you guys have any questions, any thoughts, anything you're wondering about applying a holistic approach to your health? This is always so fun to jump on with you live. It's actually a highlight of my day. And lately, my daughter's been sleeping around noon too, so it's like perfect. But yeah, so go back and listen if you missed it. It's a really good one. Just talking about my approach and the 3-fold body, mind, and soul, and things that we can cover in that, or that even you can go on doing your own, but how I could uniquely support you. Book a mini session, podcast giveaway. All right, that's it. I'll be back next week with another thing, but also if you're not subscribed to the podcast, do that, because that's where you get them. Are you on my email list? Because that's the best way to get updates on things. But anyways, let me know any questions you have here in the comments, or feel free to personal message me. If you ever feel like there's just something you maybe just want to ask me, you don't necessarily feel comfortable here, you could ask me there. I typically guide people to the group so we can have it all in one place and support one another. But if you have any questions on anything I talked about, let me know. Okay, that's it, ladies. I will see you soon. Enter the giveaway and book that free call. Bye.